This is Calvin again with the Cow Too Big YouTube channel. I want to talk about the Ascend kayak that I purchased. You can see my wife's Flint kayak up above, which is fantastic. The Ascend has some really nice features. It's an amazing boat for the price. It's really well built. The older models, I think they had some issues with leaking into the compartments, and I think it was because this lip here was not part of the original design, so water would get down into the compartments. Right now I had the seat off because it doesn't fit on my kayak trailer, but it's right back here. It's pretty nice. It's round tubular. I wish it was just a little bit stronger, well built, but it seems pretty good. Original kayak, when they first came out with this Ascend 128T, it had a swivel seat, but this one does not have the swivel from the factory, from the dealer, or from the Bass Pro Shops. Cabela's where I got it. I added a swivel to it. We're going to see how that works. I like the option of having different heights to set the seat at. It has 3 different positions. The only thing is it does not secure properly with these little bungee type cords. The latest model that they just put out at Cabela's, it actually has a metal bracket that looks like it secures the seat, so that problem is fixed. I have pole holders right behind me, which are real easy to get. I have this humongous compartment, which I love. It's a little bit inaccessible if you don't have the swivel seat. It has another really nice size compartment up front and a small compartment, small round one, that can store your goodies. It's got a little bag underneath. I paid about $800 for this kayak. I think it was a pretty good value. It's very stable. The foot pegs are very adjustable. I don't like the angle. It's straight up and down. I wish it was slightly angled, like a 30 or 45 degrees. That'd be a little bit more comfortable. Most kayaks have it slightly angled, I think, or at least the ones that are hard formed are slightly angled, but probably 25 or 30 degrees. But it's okay. It works for me. The cup holders are great. They're in a good place. There's a place to store your lures or whatever you want right there, little accessories. The mat right here just feels really good. Just makes it very comfortable for all day use. You can stand up in this. I'm not apparently that good at standing up on a boat from a low seating position, so I need to work on that. It's got pole holders up here, pole mounts, but I don't really like the placement of those. They're just too far forward. I haven't used this storage area up here yet, but I plan to. One thing to notice is that these little grips back here, the handles are screwed in, and you need to check that from time to time. I had the red rag like I have at the front as a flag, and I lost one of the screws because I guess the vibration just caused the screw to back out. It wasn't very tight, so that's something to keep an eye out on. There's a compartment back here which I've never used. It's just too far away from the seat. It's just like 4 feet away. It's too far, or 3.5, something like that. It has the power option on this. So this is the Yak Power, which means it has this nice little control. Let me show you the control. I don't know how well you can see that. It's kind of dark in here. But it has a control to select the different zones, and it's pre-wired inside. There's one of the spots where you can plug in an accessory. You can plug in your fish finder. You can plug in. Some people have done trolling motors. It's not really wired heavy enough for much of a trolling motor, but I've seen people do it. There's a plastic cover that goes right here. That's for your paddles or your rod tips. I took that off because I'm afraid it's going to blow off in the wind. It just has a couple of thumb screws. But I keep it down in the compartment. The compartment's really big, so I can drop it down in there, and I put it back on whenever I'm in the water. Things I like about this boat is it just is very stable. I've had boats cruising by me at 40 miles an hour, making a huge wake, I'm not worried. This thing's not going to tip over. It's very, very stable. The only thing I don't like about it so far is it's a bit difficult to turn. I don't know if it's because of the length, because it's like 13 feet, 12 foot 8 inch, something like that. But it's just, it takes me 10 strokes to get a, turn maybe 45 or 60 degrees. It takes a lot of paddling to make a turn. The Flint is not like that. My Sun Dolphin, I can just do a couple of paddles and it's turned around. It's very easy to turn, but it still tracks really well. The Flint is just kind of in between that. It takes a few turns, but it's not hard at all to turn. The Ascend is just a little bit hard to turn, but if you're wanting to just stay on a course and fish along the bank or whatever you have, it's kind of a nice thing in a way. These tracks, I'm not sure if they're just not industry standard. They seem a little bit thinner along the edges than the Flint. The Flint seems like a little bit wider. So I bought these cheap rod holders to screw on here, and I've had one on each side so I can set down my, or not rod holders, excuse me, paddle holders. And I've already had it pop out on me once on the lake. That was not nice, but so I didn't have tools with me to fix that. So something I need to think about in the future, carrying tools to re-secure that if that happens. There's a strap that comes with this, like a little, there's almost like a dog leash that snaps on here, so you can use that to help pull yourself up from your seat. So all in all, it's a really decent boat for the money. Would I buy it again? Maybe. It's really heavy. It's a lot to handle by myself, so you really need a dolly to get it to the water, or that or two people for sure. It's just really heavy. Typically when I'm not storing it on the kayak trailer, I'll actually suspend it from my ceiling in my shop. I have a little Harbor Freight 200-pound lift that I put in there, and it works pretty well for that. So I just run straps through the holes there and the scupper holes, and then balance it in the middle. It works pretty well. It's a very sturdy boat though. I mean, it's really pretty good. Just a lot to handle. Takes just a little bit of the fun out of going on a kayak, because to me the kayak is about being light and easy and not a lot of accessories. When you deck it out with the trolling motor and the battery and the fish finder and everything, then it's really like a regular boat, and you end up having to register it here in Texas. So I think I'll just keep it like it is, not a lot of accessories on it, and paddle around and enjoy it for stability and storage. It's just really nice to have all that room and stability, and very comfortable seat. It's a little bit more comfortable than my cheapy little Sun Dolphin, but I still love my little Sun Dolphin. Thanks for watching.